this computer. Okay. The first thing I want to do is make sure that you have a handle on the start swell. I think you do,
Yeah.
Valerie, but just to go over it, for everybody else who is able to see what I'm showing, I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can get a handle as to what we have available for everybody right now. Can you see my screen?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, man, this is just freaking awesome. So, the amazing 120 days is what everybody really needs to know. They need to understand that if they don't reach for these goals, we can't assume what people want out of 31, whether it be, to make money or maybe they're just in it for the discount. All of it's fine. But when everybody is new, I want them to understand if they don't work for these goals, it's basically leaving money on the table. So, as a refresher, you've got 4 30-day time periods, and it starts the day that you join. In those 30-day time periods, then if you can submit $600 or more, it doesn't have to be a if you have a dog in the background, if you can mute yourself, that'd be awesome. If they submit, it doesn't have to be a party. It can just be $600. It doesn't matter at all. But within that, then they'll be able to pick from these different collections. And they have done good. I haven't done the math on these, but all of these are very good, especially like that one, the deluxe utility tote with the totally thermal. I mean, come on. That's just awesome. And then, y'all, okay, this big dream thing, dream big tote, I've already sold one on the spot, and it's just gorgeous.
I've sold one too.
Have you?
Yeah, and I got one for me too.
Yeah, and actually today I put a bunch of orders together to make a party, and I ordered the little dreamer because I really think that that's going to be a big seller. So I'm excited to get that. Okay, so just to make sure that everybody remembers that if somebody is in their start swell period and if they sell $1,000, then they're actually going to get the option to get either $75 of credit in their back office to use on whatever they want, or they can choose one of the Hostess exclusives that we have. And I'm telling y'all, okay, I got the rolling cooler. I don't know does anybody have one of those yet?
Mm-mm.
It's perfect. It's very sturdy. It fits just right. And then I also got the this thing, that triple duty caddy. I think that's what I'm going to start using as my my organizer for going to parties. So as you can grab those up, but that is available. The $1,000 bonus is available each 30-day time period. So you can do that 4 times. So you can get everything. And then also, just so that people know, if you end up, where's the $100 thing? If you end up recruiting somebody during your first 120 days and they sell 1,000, they become qualified and they sell $1,000 in their first 90 days, then you get $100 in your paycheck as a bonus. So that is that. And then I want to make sure that everybody understands the $200 rolling 3-month period. There's a lot of people who have R's by their name in my report that I can run, and it makes me sad because there's like 30 of them, and that means that they're at risk. So when you're at risk, that means that you have not sold $200 in the in this month or the 2 prior months. So in order to stay active, you have to have like $50 one month. Let's say $50 in February, $50 in March, and $100 in April. Then you're cool because that adds up to $200. But what you need to realize is if you put in that, that $100 in April to keep you upright, that gets you exactly $200. And this is a rolling 3-month time period. So that means in May, you're going to have to pick up the other 50. Because in April, we had 50. March, we had 50. April, we had 100. And now in May, you've got to have 50. So at all times in your last 3 months, you need to have $200. It's easier if you just do $200 in a party. And if you're not going to really be selling that much, it's just easier because then you can go once every 3 months to order. So Valerie, does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it makes perfect sense.
All right.
Thank you.
And this is something critical. And Robin, girl, Andrea, I worked with her on this. And so make sure that this is part of, as you're training your people, that this is something that you teach off right at the beginning, is the difference between a retail order and a party order. It seems that a lot of people don't realize that you can just do a straight up order, and they do not have to use a party order. So a retail order is anything less than $200, not going to get you your the hostess benefits. And Andrea, when I was talking to her, she had a good question, and she said, I've got this order for $35 or something, and but then I have a party that's going to be on the 11th or something. Now we had this conversation a couple days ago. She said, should I wait? And I said, put yourself in your customer's shoes, because basically she's already given you the money. And once that conversation was over, she thought that everything was being ordered. So I don't think that the customer would be very happy if you held on to her order without her permission for another 10 days, and then it was actually ordered, because it would be 3 weeks until she got her stuff. So I told her, just, don't worry, you're not going to have parties with every single order. Just get it in and make your customer happy. So,
and I appreciate you helping her out. She told me she talked to you. She did not express that to me. I'm sorry she called you and bothered you.
Oh, no, it was fine. It was fine. I picked up the phone. As long as I pick up the phone, that means I'll help.
Okay.
But what her problem was is she had a couple parties on there, like the launch party that she's going to have for the 11th when she has her party. But then she had also created a link for the Hello Goodbye Facebook, the big 31 Facebook party. And
she didn't delete it.
Well, she ordered through there and nothing happened, and she didn't understand why. And I was like, sometimes, I think those Facebook party things that they are putting on are interesting, but I think it's a little bit confusing. So I don't even pay attention to those Facebook parties. I don't know what y'all do. But,
they're terrible.
Yeah, it's just confusing. Okay, here's one of the tricks of the trade, and I'm gonna just show this to y'all. I know Valerie can't see this, but okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Share screen, but just in case somebody doesn't know how to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my parties and open parties, and let's say I want to have everything shipped to me. The consultants have two different options whenever they're placing the party orders. The default on the party orders has everything sent to the hostess. So that means that all the the hostess has to do all of the bagging up of things and getting everything ready. And if it's a huge party, then I don't like to make her do that. Whoops. And I'll tell you why. Am I in the middle of your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't see that here, but I'll tell you why. I feel like I need to tell you a story. Okay. Because one time I had over $1,000 Pampered Chef party. It was ridiculous. I mean, everybody just came and bought, and the consultant had everything sent to me. So I had like 4 giant boxes. And it's, you know me, I don't know how to cook. I just don't know how to cook. That's all there's to it. And so she expected me to put all those things into labels. I didn't know what kind of like a flat spatula was worth versus a ninja spatula. And I was pissed. And so I was like, you need to come over and do this. And so that's why whenever it's a large party that's, local, semi-local, I have everything sent to me and I package everything up and I take it over to her. And another reason that it makes everything's easier for the hostess so that she doesn't have that bad memory, because I will not host a Pampered Chef party again because what she did to me, she made me have to work. So, I do that, but another perk of having everything sent to you is that you can put your business card and a thank you note in the bag. And, or if you want to put in some kind of, the monthly special for the next month, you can do that. It's just a little bit more of a touch. It's like a second touch with the person, because then they can remember your name. You just weren't the sales lady there. And this is a random thought, but I've done this a couple times and it's kind of fun. If you have a group that gets together, this is like your party group. If you have a group that gets together frequently, they all kind of live close. Say you had a party on a Friday night and then looks like the shipping's and you submit it maybe on Saturday, and you can time it so that the shipping is like close to another Saturday where everybody was able to get together. What you can do is ask the hostess say, hey, would it be okay if I bring some brownies over and we have a 1 hour pink bag pickup party where you go over to her house, all there is the brownies, but then everybody comes over during that time and they pick up their stuff. And what happens is everybody wants to look at everybody's stuff. And then that's another way to start the interaction of, if you have several people who are like, ooh, I need to get that. And then it's like, okay, who's the next hostess? So that takes a little bit of coordinating, but it's kind of fun. And to me, besides selling bags, every time I leave a party, I want to make new friends. And that's just another way to increase that bond that you have. That was a total tangent. So another reason, Valerie, that I have people, I have the items sent to me is because I often will buy up the customer specials that are left open. Because say somebody buys $35 and they don't want either that all-in organizer this month or what is that bin called? Anybody?
Mini storage bin.
Mini storage bin. Okay. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with that. But say they don't want that, but I need those, either for my display or that's a cheap hostess gift, because basically if I spent $8 on one of those bags, I'm really spending only $6 because I get the 25% back. And in general, at the party, I'll give the hostess something, just as a thank you gift. And I certainly don't want to spend a lot of money on it. So I buy from myself. I personally prefer to give 31 items as my gift, but I'm at a place where I have more bags than I should. So it's easier for me. But when I first started, I'll tell you where I got my first hostess gifts is I went to the Dollar Tree. But I don't have to do that now because I have too many bags, but just give her something, something from the heart then, and hopefully she'll host for you again.
Jenny, do you see Kathy in there at all? Because she says that she can see you, but she's having trouble with the audio.
Oh, I see a picture of her. But if she can see us, then good.
Yeah, she can see you, but she can't hear you for some reason.
Well, she probably did the have her call back in again and select, use your computer's audio or something like that. Go out and go back in. Okay. But for the benefit of this recording, I'm going to show people how to. This is our party default. This is how you get everything shipped to you. Say this, okay, this is Missy Hoblock's 31 party. You can see that it's automatically to go to the hostess. Well, I want it to go to the consultant. So that's how you change that. And you'll have to save and continue, but that's no big deal. Okay, I just wanted everybody to know that that's in the about and the party stuff.
Jenny, this is Robin. I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you just switched that from consultant to hostess, I mean, vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
the tax rate changed.
Yes, it did.
But does that change the tax rate for all orders? I've been meaning to ask it.
I need to try that out.
Well, Jenny,
Yeah.
hi, it's Aaliyah. It changes the shipping tax, but I don't think the sales tax.
Thank you.
Okay. Because sometimes I've seen that it does change things, but I haven't figured out which way. I just figure usually the difference to the customer is like, a couple pennies or whatever. So I just put it in and hope for the best. So, okay. That was important. If you are a new consultant, start out now keeping your receipts. It's just really important because this little business of yours right here is a total gem for tax write-offs. I've started mine so far this year, okay? But over here, well, I'm going to open my recent things. I hope no one shares this and it's like, oh my God, look at her taxes or whatever. This is what I do for my business supplies. This was for 2016. The reason I have these colors here is because I've already entered them into TurboTax. But I keep receipts from all my postage, all my mileage from the postage. You can see I spent $1,400 in postage last year. It's ridiculous, but I sold more than that. So, but I keep track of my business supplies from my parties. That's anything that I buy that's either going to be a gift for a hostess or a something for my display or just something that I need. I keep a running tally of every time I go to eat with somebody, to either a team member or I'm out at a conference or whatever. I keep track of every single thing. You can deduct 50% off of 50% of that. And so last year I spent $1,000 on food. So I get to write off 500 of that, which is pretty cool. I write off my phone bill. $11.79. I did I guess we spent $2,300 on our phone last year. I'm writing off my half, so I put that in. Office supplies, and then I also write off my internet. So that just show kind of how I keep things straight. I hope some people will watch this video and learn from it. Kathy, can you hear us? I don't know. Hopefully she can. Okay. Valerie, do you have any questions right now?
No, I've been inside and out all over the website in the last couple of weeks, so a lot of this I've found previously, but it's good to hear you say a lot of this stuff to make sure I'm learning it correctly on my own.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that you have taken the time to go through, because so many people won't take the time to read this stuff, and it's so important.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wish I had a graphic at one time about sales and follow up. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure, and I know you're doing this, but this is for anybody else that is going to start. If you're going to start a business, you have got to have a grand opening. There is not even a McDonald's out there that doesn't have a grand opening. And the purpose of the grand opening is to get people through McDonald's doors and to try out their product. The purpose of your grand opening or launch party, as in 31's world, I think grand opening sounds better. The purpose of that is to get everybody over to your house to see your stuff. Because I hope I haven't repeated this too much. Maybe this is new to you. But if my neighbor signs up with Tupperware, good for her. I'm happy for her. But she expects me to run over there and buy something. I don't cook. I don't need Tupperware. So she's got to show me why I need it. And so many people that when they join direct sales, they think, oh my God, I am open for business. Here I am, come order from me. Well, you know what? Nobody wants to spend their money unless they are shown the options. So the ladies, and when you get somebody in for your grand opening or your launch party or whatever, they get to see this stuff, and that's where the magic starts happening, when they actually touch the products. You have the conversations, and I think you'll see as you go along with 31 is I don't think we're selling anything. I think we're putting some cool stuff out there, and they're deciding if they want it. I mean, I never feel like I have to be pushy or anything. I'm just like here, or I ask, what do you need? Do you have any messy parts of your life? What can I help you with? And they'll say, maybe their car or, just something, but I just give them options and they end up getting something. And not, being a real salesy person, that is, I think that's why people come back to me, because I don't pressure them. I never feel, how there's the salespeople that you don't pick up the phone because you know that they're going to want something. Pretty much people pick up the phone, unless they're consultants, then they never pick up the phone. So anyway, and you'll also, I do the monthly newsletter. Sometimes it's bi-monthly because something happens, but I do the monthly newsletter. And if you are starting out this journey with 31, you need to figure out why you're doing it. Are you in it to make the money? Are you in it to just enjoy the product? Or are you in it to get out of the house? Once you figure out why you're doing it, then that's what we need to work from. Because I have a lot of people who say, I want to make some money. Well, they are not even having a grand opening. It's the math on what you can earn is so simple. If you want $250 from 31 every month, then you sell $1,000. And to get there, you're probably going to need 2 parties. I am on a little bit different scale, because my goal for me is to have $1,000 coming into my bank account based off my sales, because I just feel like no matter what, I can do this. I want to know that I have that $1,000. That means I have to sell $4,000. Now, the way I get there is I'm starting to find out that the magic is at the 6 parties. If I have 6 parties and they're not Facebook parties count as a half to me, basically, because if I can even get that baby qualified, it's probably $200, and that's just kind of a little add-in. But if I have an in-home party, I'm living proof that $600 is the average party, because most people are spending about $60 per order form. If you get 8 to 10 people actually at the party, well, there's 8 times 60 is 480. And then if you get 2 outside orders, there's your $600 party. So that's $150 in my pocket. The hostess gets $100 because that's her free credit. And then you've got 10 people to book another party with. But that's a side thing. But for me to get if people are wanting to get the kind of volume that I am, the magic happens at the 6 in-home parties. Aaliyah, what kind of parties do you do? Try say that one more time.
Cameron.
There you go. Are you Facebook parties?
Wait, Cameron. Come here.
Just so they can reach people?
Okay, I say that one more time because I had it messed up on my end. I had it.
Oh, okay. As I said, I haven't really done a true Facebook party, but when I do catalog parties, I set up a Facebook event for the hostess and they invite people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm posting, but not in the true sense of a Facebook party. And then they're showing the catalog also. So, work it together. It's like a hybrid, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but that's what I've done.
Now tell me, what in your opinion, or when you are addressing your catalog party ladies, how long are you telling them that you want it to be open?
We usually do it 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Is that too long?
If the hostess can handle it, no, I think that's fine. I think
Okay.
that's fine. As long as you are telling her, it's like, okay, you need to understand that that everything is processed together, because it doesn't matter if somebody's orders on the first day, it's still not going to be placed until the actual party closes out. So
Right.
Hostess know that. It's like if somebody needs their stuff, then we need to make it go a little bit quicker. For I would say about 10 days is good.
Okay.
10 days, 2 weeks. If you can grab 2 weekends, in there,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Because otherwise, after that amount of time, oh my God, she just wants to be done with it.
Yeah.
And if you're posting stuff in Facebook, you just want to be done with it too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the home party.
Yeah. The home party's just, it's just where the magic happens. And the way you get the home party is by asking. It's just asking and asking, because eventually somebody's going to say yes. And the way I ask people, this is what I recommend for people who are just starting out. I say, I think that you should get, 3 or 4 parties booked within your first 2 months, because that's going to set you up well for your start swell. But I tell them, the hostesses are going to get free credit and whatnot, but don't be salesy with people. Tell them the truth. You need a practice party. And if you go to your friends, everybody's got your ride or die friends. We all have about 4 or 5. Those are the ones that you can call up and say, I'm coming over. I've got a body in the back. I need you to help me. And they will. They'll get the shovel and help you. All right? Those are your true friends. So find your ride or die friends and say, I need some help. And they'll do it. And it's just assuming that people will ask you to have a party is not true. I'll give you an example. This is a side note. Valerie, I'm taking you all over here. Valerie's our newest person, so she's going to be like, what the world? I had a LuLaRoe person. Okay, I went to a party because I kept hearing about it. And I went there and I bought a shirt, a $32 or $36 shirt, which was way too expensive, but I bought because it was the thing to do. All right. In front of me, she had like a line maybe of like 5 people, and I watched her check out, she did her thing, and she asked every single person in front of her if they wanted to have a party. I was like, okay. I kind of prepared my answer because I was like, yeah, I can probably do that. Maybe I can see if we can swap parties or something like that. But then she got up to me and she took my money and she never asked me. And I sure as hell wasn't going to ask her if I could have a party. She never asked me. Me of all people. And she passed up. And what made it was weird because, and this is something that I feel like maybe others feel as well, when you don't ask one particular person, she made me feel like, what's wrong with me? I was like, what, doesn't she like me? My money spends just as well as everybody else. So if you're kind of picky and choosy about who you're asking, don't, because you might be offending somebody. And this is a trick that I use at every single party, because I know that consultants do get afraid to okay. They do get afraid to ask people at the party. Well, force your hand on this. Force your hand during the presentation and say, look, the way, this hostess helped me keep my business open, and I really appreciate it. What I need, or what I'm just going to tell everybody, that the only way I can stay in business is if other people open their home to me and I can meet their friends and sell some bags. So I am going to guarantee you that I'm going to, A, ask if you'd like to book a party, and B, I'll see if you really like if you have any interest in joining 31 with me. And if I don't ask you that, then I'm going to buy a monogram for you. Then everybody knows that the questions are coming. They know that I'm not picking on them, trying to just, really work them for a party, because I'm asking everybody. And it also keeps you accountable for even like the scary people that you don't want to ask. It makes you ask them. Because some, those ladies who are like in their, 65, 70, they can be scary. And I'm afraid to ask them, but it makes me do it. So does anybody have any questions about any of the stuff that I'm talking about?
Jenny, this is Aaliyah. I just wanted to clear up something on the tech when we change from the hostess to the consultant.
Uh-huh.
It's the sales tax, not the shipping, that changes. So
okay, the shipping.
That's what it is. Yeah, shipping is 8% no matter what. I think that's on the form, but it's the sales tax that changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might go up or it might go down.
Right.
We've had a bunch of tax changes in my area lately. It's confusing. Rebecca, what do I need to hit that I haven't answered for you?
Well, I'm definitely the one that needs to do a launch party.
You've got your beautiful new house.
Failed at that. But I am ready to start doing it again. And, I have been doing Facebook parties, and they do not work very well. They don't. In fact, when I do parties, I'm usually doing like catalog parties. And I usually just put them like in my daughter's name or my mother's name or whatever, just so I can stay afloat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not working anymore. My husband's like, it's time to sell some bags because you're filling up our house with them,
Yeah. And that's, you just need to open the door. You just commit yourself. Like in the next 24 hours, I don't know, maybe I should text you tomorrow night. Pick a date.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I keep telling you we need to do lunch or something, and
no, I'm saying
I need you to motivate me more.
Pick a date for your party.
Oh, pick a date for the party? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I did talk to a girl last night at a Super Bowl party we went to, and she was interested in maybe doing a home party, and I'm like, oh, okay. I've never done one, but I'm like, I'll call Jenny. So
there are no purse emergencies. This crap is not hard to sell. Yeah. Basically, in my party presentation, I keep it simple, and really, as people are preparing to do a little presentation or whatever, keep in mind that people don't want to hear you talk that much. I talk about maybe first I'll introduce myself and thank the hostess, and then I talk about 5 to 8 products typically. And that's usually, the zip top, the large utility tote, of course. And then I always go into the special of the month, and then just a few of the coolest ones that are on there. And then I, a lot of times I'll just ask the people if they see anything that attracts their attention, and I'm like, come, tell me what you're interested in, I'll tell you about it. And so it's just very easy. And then I don't play games hardly at all. I mean, I might, and it might be something that I totally make up. The I played a game. It was like three parties ago, and I just felt like we needed a little spark. So I said, okay, we're going to play a game, and it's called Who Knows the Hostess Best? And she's going to know, she's the only one who knows the answers. And so I asked 5 questions, and I had a little mini zipper pouch there that I gave the winner. And I was like, okay, so tell me when when Valencia was little, what did she want to grow up and be? It was kind of fun because, the people who were related to her obviously had a leg up, but that was good. And then I asked if money were no object, where would she go vacation? And everyone's guessing Hawaii and all that, but that's an easy one. I said, this was funny. This was my last one. I can't remember what the other 2 were, but I was like, when her husband wants to make out, what part of her body does he touch? And that was good because it ended up everybody, the whole room, we all just started talking about it, and apparently every man touches every woman's butt when they're interested in doing a little something. So that was it. It was 5. I didn't have to prep anything. There was nothing to it. We just had a game, and they enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I said, I still think I need to go to like a party with you and just check it out. I don't know if you're doing any more home parties anytime soon, but I know I keep saying I'm going to get with you. And
Valerie's in. Is she in your same town?
Mark.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Saturday at 3:00.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come to mine.
Okay.
I'm going to her house.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely include me. I'd like to do that. I'd like to, I need to do something. I'm just kind of sitting on all my bags over here, kind of hoarding them a little bit and not wanting to share them.
Yeah, they don't sell when they're just sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gretchen, what's on your mind?
Well, I just signed up another recruit, so I've got 5 now.